Hello there, and welcome to another episode of Practical Wisdom. I'm your host, Ihab Hamarne, the author of The Art of Being You. Today, I want to talk about the idea of goal settings, like how to get out of the classical, traditional way of setting goals into something deeper, into something that you feel moved by, into setting goals that you feel you want to wake up from the bed and just go for it, not just pushing yourself towards the next goal. And before actually diving deep into it and give you more practical tips and practical understanding how to get yourself into that zone of setting deeper goals than the traditional way of setting goals, let me share with you this story. Before a while, I was coaching a client, and let's call his name Sammy. And I was coaching Sammy, and we were in a discovery call, and he told me, "Ihab, you know what? I already started a company. I started another company, and I want to take it to the next level. I want to make this company just a multi-millionaire one." And I said, "Okay, Sammy, and then what?" And he said, um, and I could feel that kind of moment of confusion. It was like kind of the question he hoped that I won't ask. It was the kind of question that was pumping into his mind, but he was trying to neglect. And when he was faced by the honesty, it's like, then what? He freezed up and he said, I just don't know. And I asked him, then what? And then what? And then what? And that moment, he realized that, you know what? There is nothing about the goal he's setting that's inspiring. There is nothing about the goal he's setting that's moving him towards the next level of evolution. It was just an ordinary goals because every company should reach a multi-millionaire standard, should reach the next goal of making $1 million and should have a team. So he followed those kind of cultural shoulding and he set in himself a plan or a goal in how his company should do. And once he realized that, we started more honest and deep conversation, and we started going deep into kind of his soul aspiration, into kind of his purpose, into kind of his emotional driver that from the first place he started his entrepreneurial venture for. At that moment, he realized that he started that kind of venture from the first beginning for the love of art. And once he realized that, he started realizing that this is the energy, this is the emotional drive that was moving him from the beginning to start the business, but he just lost sight of it with the classical ways of setting goals. And he starts setting goals not in alignment with the idea of how to maintain that love of art into his work. And once he starts realizing that, he starts setting goals from that place of love of art. So he starts setting goals how to create a community that it's inducive in its energy for the idea of love of art. He starts setting goals and how to transmute that love of art to other people. So the goals are constituted with that base of love of art. And that's where I felt his word. That's where I felt moved by his energy because he was moved by it. And you know what? We are a transmuters for energy. So when you're inspired by something, you're gonna inspire other people. You're gonna inspire your clients. You're gonna inspire your team. But if you're not inspired by it, if you're not moved by it, it's gonna be a cold goal. It's gonna be one of those, another goal that everyone's setting. It's gonna be one of those goals that you look yourself in the room and you ask yourself, what's the 7 areas in my life, health, money, and what kind of goals shall I set for myself? Smart, specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and time bounded. You know what? That was the 80s, the 90s. That was the old generation of business. The future of business is different. The future of business is business that's based on the heart. It's based on inspiration. It's based in being moved by something deeper than yourself. And I'm not saying there is something wrong with setting goals and plans and strategies and schedules from there. But if you set all of those without the heart, You're missing the key point. You're missing the key why you're doing what you're doing from the first place. You're missing your highest possible expression in life, or what I love to call it, your highest possible expression in life. So, my message for you today is to stop setting goals from that place of mental understanding, mental analysis, and go deeper into yourself and find those places that you're inspired by. Find your highest possible expressions of your soul, and then from there, set your goals. And from there, you're gonna find a completely different level of commitment, motivation, and you're gonna be inspired by something bigger than yourself. And you know what? Being inspired by something is an absolute success, or key for success for the future of business. Because when you're inspired by something, you have the ability to download knowledge and information you didn't have access before when you're setting external goals. When you set what I call inside out goals, kind of inspired goals, goals that you're moved by, that's working as a progression towards your vision and purpose. Now you have the ability to tap into different level of energy. Now the universe is supporting you because you're coming from the heart. Now people are intrigued and inspired and enthusiastic to support what you're doing because they can feel that and they want to be part of that energy. So, how you can do that, how you can get into that state of inspiration, how you can get into that state of being moved by something and then setting goals from inside out. I wish there is one secret for it. I wish there is that one tip that I can share with you. But in reality, there is not. Because every journey is different. You have a unique journey, you have a different journey than your mind. But you know what? Everyone is inspired by something. Everyone is moved by something. And when you start looking for those, when you start asking those questions in more serious manner, when you start focusing on what inspires me the most, what things that used to move me when I was young. You know what? When I was young, I used to enjoy watching a show called في جعبتي حكاية. It's kind of Arabic cartoon that they share stories from the whole world. And when I sit with myself and ask myself, okay, I was inspired by that. Why? And I start asking, what's the highest possible expression in life, in my life right now for that show? And I realized I was inspired by the idea of stories. And then I start reading the stories of leaders. And then I start seeking how, studying more, how to turn your story as a source of inspiration in business. And you know what? That's the future of what I'm doing. I'm doing more, I'll be giving more material about a conscious business that's based in a story, that's based on openness and how to set yourself as a vulnerable expert in your field by sharing your story. See, kind of the same passion and inspiration I had when I was young, it turned into profitable business when I am old, when I am like at my age right now. So you can do the same. Look for those places and don't settle for something less than that because you've been told that this is how you should set your goals. Look for your deeper aspect. You know what? Maybe you're passionate about leadership. Maybe you're inspired by leadership. But you're thinking that you need to be manager and director before you start following what inspires you the most, which is the idea of leadership and people. But that's not true. You can go directly in becoming a trainer in leadership. You can go directly with setting goals, how to be trained by the best people in that field. And you know what? Once you're doing that, you cut all the bullshit. You cut all the unnecessary effort in following goals that doesn't represent your soul. And now you're connected more with your heart. And now you're setting goals from there that support your purpose. Because you know what? The things that you are inspired the most with is the same things that you have purpose with. When you're inspired by something at a deeper level, you have a desire to reduce suffering in that area, to alleviate the suffering of other people in that area. See, the reason I'm sharing that information with you, it is because I'm inspired by it. Practical wisdom, this show came out of inspiration. I didn't sit in a paper, I said I wanna do practical wisdom. I was walking the street inspired and I had that idea of whoa, practical wisdom. And I shared it with you. And because I'm inspired by it, deep inside I know that I want to share that because I don't want you to struggle anymore. I don't want you to experience the suffering I experienced from not being able to express myself fully, from not being able to understand life better, from not being able to live a peaceful and more joyful and more conscious life. I've been through that, so I don't want you to suffer from it. Can you see what I'm trying to tell you here? The source of inspiration you have is the same. Like the other face of it is your purpose. And once you set your goals from there, now you have universal power working for your favor. And if you do that, you're gonna live what we call your highest possible expression in life. Thank you.
Hey guys, it's Ihab. If you like this video and you enjoy this kind of material, there are two things you can do right now. First, to subscribe to the YouTube channel here, and also to visit ihabhamam.com to sign up for the newsletter there. So you can keep yourself updated with the free material about the soul of speaking, leadership, high performance, and just life mastery in general. I can't wait to see you in the next video. Till then, just go and have a great day. Thank you.